recognizes their 12th grade class tonight with a special ceremony to kick off the Tigers' regular season finale against visiting Buckeye Valley, fresh off a convincing win over Bishop Reedy. So can Senior High send out their honorees with one last home victories, or will the Barons play spoiler on the Tigers' big night? It's live and free boys high school soccer, streaming right in the palm of your hand, streaming on smartphones, tablets, TVs, and PCs, and it's all on the way. Next.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got cheer to 10. Bags!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Frito Lay
As we welcome you back to Malabar Middle School, we've got senior night festivities here on the way for the Mansfield Senior Tigers. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over the audio to the PA announcer. Let him break it all down for you folks.
In Spain, and he would like to thank his host parents and the Mansfield Senior High soccer team for how well they have received him this year. When he goes back to Spain, he'd like to complete his last year in school there and then go to college. This is his fondest memory at Mansfield Senior was his first game as a TY Tiger. Let's hear it for Rodrigo Ortiz Garcia. Miguel Ribola. Miguel is being escorted by his host parents, Frederick Horton and Nicole Horton. This is his first year, obviously, playing soccer for Mansfield Senior, although he has played for Santa Isabel RSD. He'd like to thank all those people that have been with him since his first day in Mansfield. His future plans are to be happy with the job he likes and to live near his family. His fondest or funniest memory of soccer is he will miss all the friends he has made here because now they're like family to him. That's Miguel Ribola. Number 11, Jaleel Gregory. Jaleel is being escorted by his mom, Bianca Gregory, and his dad, Myron Gregory. While in high school, he's played soccer for 3 years. He has also lettered in soccer for 3 years, and he'd like to thank all of his teammates and coaches for giving him a great senior season. His future plans are to go to college and go on at some point to play professional soccer. He's going to miss all the ups and downs the most because not only did those moments help him grow as a player, but also as a person. That's number 11, Jaleel Gregory. Number 14, Graham Sanders. Graham is being escorted by his parents, Kim and Shane Sanders, and his brother, Grayson. While at Mansfield Senior, he's participated in golf, soccer, and baseball, lettering 2 years in golf, 4 years in soccer, and 4 years in baseball. He'd like to thank his family and coaches for the last 4 years, especially Coach James and all he has taught me through seriousness and even jokes. His future plans are to find a job in the construction field. His fondest memories and things that he will miss are practice and the bus rides and going out to eat after the games. That's number 14, Graham Sanders. Number 25, Dylan Nicholson. Dylan is being escorted by his mom, Dawn Kitchen, and his dad, Jim Nicholson. While at Mansfield Senior, he's played 4 years of soccer, swim team, and baseball. He is also involved in National Honor Society and the DND Club. He'd like to thank his coaches for always pushing him and his parents for making him go to practice. As far as future plans, Dylan would like to go to college and see where life takes him. His fondest memory is going to B-dubs with the team. That's number 25, Dylan Nicholson. Number 4, Sorian Allen. Sorian is being escorted by his mom, Benny. He's being escorted by his mom, Benny, his stepdad, Tori, and his grandma, Carol Allen. While at Mansfield Senior, Sorian has played soccer and wrestled for 3 years, and he's been playing soccer his whole life. He's also lettered in both soccer and wrestling. As far as other activities, he's also involved in the performing arts. He'd like to thank his mom for always supporting him and being a help when he needs it. Because of her, I've gotten this far. After high school, Sorian plans to pursue commissioned cinematography, especially music videos. He's going to miss the long bus rides with all the friends he's made from this sport. He will also miss just being in the game. Win or lose, there's no greater feeling than being on the field. That's number 4, Sorian Allen. Number 23, Tyler Crawl. Tyler is being escorted by Stacy, Tom, and Justin Crawl. He's played soccer for 4 years at Mansfield Senior High, and he's also involved in marching band. He wants to thank his friends, his family, and Coach James for being with him since the beginning. His future plans are to attend college to study for a sports management degree. His favorite memory is when Jamie, sophomore year, called a Wendy's Dave's double small. That's number 23, Tyler Crawl. Once again, let's have one more great big hand for the seniors of the T.Y. Tiger Mansfield Senior High boys soccer team. Good luck to all of you in whatever your future might hold.
So there they are, folks, the entire senior class, and pretty healthy one here for the T.Y. Tigers, as they are just about set to battle Buckeye Valley here in their last regular season game before they head into Division II tournament play. So always a good time for these athletes and the 12th graders and even the underclassmen to all come out here, just support these 12th graders that have dedicated their high school careers to the cause. We'll step away one more time. We'll be back live and free. Boys High School Soccer will return here on the OH Report on a Thursday night.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering, Ted. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Tigers and Barons are just about set to throw down under the lights here at the Malabar Soccer Complex as our live and free coverage of Mansfield Senior Soccer, as you can see, as they're busting through. It's going to start right here and now. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Malabar Middle School here in fabulous Mansfield, Ohio. My name is Brian Skoronsky alongside Hayden Gray tonight, pulling double duties. Also going to be running the camera that you're looking at right now. So a man of many, many talents and talented senior class here for Mansfield Senior. And, you know, with just these senior night festivities, they always bring that extra wave of emotion, Hayden, not just for the 12th grade athletes, also for their teammates, parents, family members. So, you know, it's a priority for the team like Mansfield Senior to come out here, try to put a big bow on it, get a nice win.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can come out on senior night, despite however your season's going, and just really look back and realize, wow, the time's gone so quickly and we only have a few of these left. So it's always good, no matter what, to try and go out, compete, make a match of it. You know, most of the time, like you said, those lower classmen are going to play a little bit extra harder for you too. So hopefully Mansfield Senior has a good chance tonight, go out, put a win on their last game here at Mihawk Field.
And they do have a cheerleading squad here that I'm told has never been seen in almost 20 years at a boys soccer match. So they're really putting it all out there here tonight, Hayden. Not holding anything back. And these Tigers, you know, they've been competitive in their last couple of matches, coming off of a tie with Mansfield Christian. They lost at 3-2 at Galley, and a resurgent Tigers team that's been playing pretty well this season too. So, you know, we should be expecting them to be competitive once again here tonight.
Yeah, I got the chance to watch them play at that game over at Mansfield Christian, and I must say, you know, they played really, really competitive. It was a 10 a.m. match, and I thought they did a good job of bringing a lot of energy. They played really tough. Stinks it ended in a 2-2 draw for them, but I think that was a win that they were able to realize, hey, you know, we can go out there when we play together and when we, you know, use a lot of our energy and get good looks, you know, they can compete, and I think they proved that to themselves, give themselves a little bit of confidence here for the rest of the season.
And on the other side for the Barons, you know, they've kind of powered through an up-and-down season. They've had some lopsided wins and also a lot of tough losses. I've seen 3 in their conference by just 1 goal this season. So, you know, it's a solid team out of the Columbus area who plays a lot of quality opponents, in particularly in their league. So, you know, this probably is one of the best teams that Mansfield Senior has on the schedule, and Tigers need to be prepared tonight for a tough one.
Yeah, they certainly didn't get quite the opponent that you're hoping for a little bit as a player on senior night. But as you said, you know, every time you have a school come up that you don't get to see too often or hear too much about, you always want to do some research into them. And it's true. They've these guys have played a really tough schedule, and their losses come to some pretty quality opponents, and they haven't always been tough losses either. You know, they've competed against these tough teams. A lot of the Columbus schools, a lot of guys, a lot of different bodies, rotations you can get in there. So they certainly can't look past tonight and just chalk it up to we're going to win because it's senior night. So I'm interested to see these guys play for the first time as well.
And these teams are going to be lining up here in just a couple of seconds and trot out onto the field for tonight's action. And we also have some other games going on in the area tonight, including Mansfield Christian against the Madison Rams. We've got a highlight coming up for you guys that you can find on our main channel on YouTube, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This is the game that we're at here tonight. Senior night for both of these squads. The Buckeye Valley Barons do have 4 seniors that we are going to honor once they line up here in just a couple of moments. So they'll get their time to shine under the spotlight as well. And then also some volleyball. Should be actually going down right now as we speak. The West Holmes Knights are on the road at Clear Fork. Both of these teams looking to get through a bit of a rough patch as they head into tournament action. And here are the teams coming out onto the field. This is, I think, one of the coolest parts of any soccer match, Hayden, is just seeing the teams and how they handle their business when they're introduced, when they come out. Do you have a lot of spirit, a ton of emotion? Are you kind of subdued? Or are you more of a this is a business trip kind of team? So I always enjoy watching this part of the match just to see how kids are going to respond.
Yeah, I don't think you get an entrance or a beginning to a sports contest in any other sport quite like this. Getting to walk that close to your opponent. And, yeah, you know, like you said, you've got a variety of options. You know, do you want to be locked in, just dead set, looking straight forward, or do you want to be hooping and hollering? So I think it's a really cool thing that they do. And it's always fun being on the other end, too. You know, when we do our highlights here on the Always Report, getting to be down there, getting to see those faces up close. So I think it's a really great part of the game and just what makes high school sports special as well.
And so the Tiger seniors have already been announced. Now turn it over to the PA announcer to introduce the seniors for the Barons.
Number 8, Zach Church. Number 4, Neil Boyles. And number 2, Matthew Very Donahue. Congratulations to all 4 of you and your parents.
It's always cool to see the opposing host school allow the seniors on the opposite side to be recognized themselves. They even had a little gift for them. Pretty cool little parting gift here, Hayden, for the seniors, for the Barons.
Yeah, I think that's just a class act gesture by Mansfield Senior. That's really cool and special to see. And again, I think something almost specific to soccer. I've never seen that done on any other senior night. So just a compliment to Mansfield Senior, showing a lot of generosity, and I'm sure those guys appreciate it. So really special to see.
The Barons checking in tonight at 7-7-1 overall. They are coming off of a big win over Bishop Reedy in their final home game of the season back on October 9th. That was a 5-1 victory for them. It ended a 3-game losing streak, but as we mentioned, the Barons, they've been super competitive. You know, they lost those matches 5-2 on the road at Granville Heights, which is a pretty quality team. Jonathan Alder, just a 1-goal differential on that one. And then Bexley, 4-0, handled them a little bit. But before that, you look at it, a win 18-2 over Lyndon McKinley. So the Barons, they've got some firepower, certainly. And, you know, they play some pretty solid defense, giving up about 1.8 goals per game. So this is a team that can defend, and then they can also explode at times offensively.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're looking for. I mean, when you can limit to someone to that amount of goals, you know, averaging under 2, giving up a game, and if you can get your offense going and get your average, then, I mean, it's going to equal a victory for you a lot of the time. So I'll be interested tonight to see who comes out wanting to control the ball a little bit more and who's going to play a little bit more lax defensively. Just a lot of matches I've been at personally this year, it seems that one has tried to be the aggressor quite more than both teams. So I'll be interested to see how both teams come out and who wants to attack more and get on the board first.
All right, Hayden, I'm going to have you go ahead and plug your HDMI just right into the back of your camera. It appears that we have lost the top cam here momentarily. So we'll bring that back for you folks here in just 1 second, as we are at the Malabar Soccer Complex tonight for the TY Tigers' final regular season game, taking on Buckeye Valley. Senior night for the Tigers. You saw all 8 of them introduced. That's a huge senior class, so look for Mansfield Senior to try to rely on some of the older guys on the team tonight, see if they can't put the ball to the feet of guys like Jalil Gregory having a phenomenal season. And what I liked most about his pregame intro, Hayden, is that he said that one of his goals for his career, be a pro soccer player. Pretty high expectations. Good stuff.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that come off, you know he takes this very seriously, which is really cool to see. And I think that it's great when you hear about guys having those aspirations because, I mean, we have our fair share of athletes who have come from this area and are doing big things at the next level collegiately. And I don't think it's something that anyone from this area shouldn't think about. I think if they put their mind to it and that's what they have their heart set on, that, you know, you put in the work, and I think it's completely capable of anyone from this area.
So those are the starting lineups about to come here for the Tigers. And here is one of the seniors, Dylan Nicholson.
Number 23, senior Tyler Crawl.
Another one of them, and Tyler Crawl receiving some large ovations here.
Number 22.
Good-looking crowd on hand for tonight's contest.
Yeah, I was going to mention, you know, the crowd is excellent here this evening. Getting to watch them at Mansfield Christian, too. They had a nice crowd for that one, so it's always great to see a lot of support from your parents, friends, family, etc.
And even the cheerleaders, who I thought it was awesome. Yeah, the gentleman who runs the PA here at Mansfield Senior, been doing it for over 20 years, said he never saw cheerleaders before at a home soccer match. So, like mentioned, you know, they're pulling out all the stops here tonight. Make this a special event for these Tigers.
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. I don't know if I've ever heard of cheerleaders being at a soccer match before at all. So, just one more thing to, you know, add to the festivities this evening. Make it super special. And, you know, they've got the numbers with the cups put to the fence, everything. It's perfect, beautiful weather for their senior night. So, not too many complaints so far.
And here comes the final senior starter, Sorian Allen. And Camden DeBolt, the junior, going to be starting in between the pipes. Would like to take a quick moment now and thank all of our generous sponsors that help bring you live and free action tonight here between Mansfield Senior and the Barons.
Freedoms like no other to honor America as well as the men and women.
Tonight's high school broadcast is brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors. J&F Construction, building your future today. Design yours at jnfconstruction.com. Also by Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Get a free quote online at whitaker-wealth.com. Frito Lay, good fun. And by Mechanics Bank, that's better.
So we're all set for the final home match of the season for Mansfield Senior, trying to head into tournament action off of a nice win over Buckeye Valley, who, as mentioned, 7-7-1 is their record heading into tonight. They would love to finish the regular season themselves with a winning mark. On the other side for the TY Tigers, 4-9-1 overall for them. Their wins this season over West Holmes back in September. They actually had back-to-back wins over the Knights and then Massillon, Washington. Big 9-2 decision over them. Then they also had another two-game win streak first couple of weeks of the season over Marion Harding and then Loudonville, a 4-0 and 4-2 win for Mansfield. And a big opportunity for them tonight to try to send out these senior athletes with a nice W under their belt. And I hear, little after party going on for players only tonight, Hayden. So I imagine that, there are going to be a few more smiles if they get a victory.
Yeah, I know they're really itching for one. Having a chance to talk to some of them after that Mansfield Christian match that I was at, they were happy with the results, but, they really weren't settled that they didn't get the job done and get a win. So it's been a little while since September, and I'm sure they're really itching to get a win. So that would definitely help to kick things off for whatever they have planned later this evening.
Well, I can tell you exactly what they have planned. Dylan Nicholson said, "Party at my house. I asked for everybody." And he said, "Sorry, players only, buddy." Gave me one of those. So we didn't quite make the VIP list. How about this run right away? Less than 20 seconds into the match, Buckeye Valley putting a little strain on the back line of the Tigers.
Yeah, and DeBolt already having to wake up quick if he wasn't already and get a good stop there and get alert. He's someone I'm actually really interested to watch this evening because he had a really nice overall keeping game from the Mansfield Christian. I don't think if it wasn't for DeBolt that game would have been a tie. It could have been as high as 3-2, 4-2, 5-2 Mansfield Christian. They had a lot of shots on goals, and he did an excellent job that game, and I'm interested to see how he'll be able to help tonight.
The Tigers return the favor. Big boot right there. A lot of venom behind that kick, but it's saved. As we take a look here on the Frito Lay replay. Nice shot there from Miguel Robola. That one driven in low for Sorian Allen, deflected out to the top of the 18. Buckeye Valley can't get the connecting pass to try to clear. Little razzle-dazzle right there from Gregory. But it's just off target, trying to hook up with Graham Sanders. And the Barons going to start taking it back.
Yeah, and it's not an easy task to take the ball away from this Tigers team. They bring a lot of speed, so they don't give up on a lot of plays, and they really want to make it difficult for you to get where they're at right now.
Oh, great save. Shot attempt there from Paxton Rockwell, deflected. And you talked about the quality keeping that you saw in the Tigers last match, keeping up right here.
Yeah, already having to have two big plays to avoid any goals so far for the Barons, and it looks like you could have a potential for a third here depending on what happens.
Nice 1v1 move to get past the first defender for John Paul Selisker, but then cut off once he got his way into the box. Did earn a corner kick opportunity, though.
Corner kick will be taken by number 17, John Paul Selisker.
Selisker plays it out wide. Barons were able to get a foot on it. And then Alex Brown, the captain, lays it back, top of the 18. Big shot and a diving save. The ball coming through again.
Yeah, you know, he really laid out for that one, had great extension. And after Saturday's performance, watching what it takes to really time up the ability to stop that ball, I don't know if I could ever be a goalkeeper. So great stop by DeBolt.
This one up for grabs. Kaiser just had the shot attempts, had a crack at it. Now battling back, lays it out wide. Tigers send a double team that way. And off the cross, the first is a whiff on the one-timer from Rockwell. And then Selisker had a great opportunity, but remains 0-0. Couple of chances here for the Barons, and they're not able to capitalize.
Yeah, tough break for Buckeye Valley there. It really looked, especially from this angle, like it was going to be down to just him and DeBolt, who was going to execute just a little bit too much power and sailed it over the top of the net.
Good bit of foot skill there from Brown. Tigers doing their part, though, defensively, making things challenging right now on the Barons. See, there's typically about 2 brown jerseys anytime someone tries to go one-on-one for Buckeye Valley right now.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I took away, and the only reason I keep bringing up this match is it's the only time I've seen Mansfield Senior play in person this year, but if there's one thing I took away from that match as well, I think something they would do differently was their lack of presence where the ball was at any certain time, offensively or defensively. So I think you can see they kind of switch that up here tonight, and their effort is really showing through. They're all over the field, making it really difficult for Buckeye.
It's a good-looking ball from Gregory, puts it on the money for a charging Sorian. And Allen put it in just about the perfect spot. Boy, that was a fraction of an inch away from going into the back. Look at this top shelf. Super slow-mo, and man, look how close that was. Probably landed right on the, just didn't go in.
And that's about as close as you can ask to get out of that. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way, but you can already see, you know, they've been able to control the ball here already. Buckeye Valley is fighting, but we'll see. That was a good shot on goal. See how they're able to build some momentum from that.
You can tell the seniors, they have good rapport out here. Certainly Gregory and Allen. Nice connection to hook up for that previous shot. And for Mansfield Senior, Probably the storyline of this game, if they're going to be competitive, is can their defense make plays like this? Oh, actually a whistle is going to be blown here.
Yeah, they're going to need to continue to be defensively sound. They're going to need the keeping of DeBolt to continue what he's been able to do so far tonight, and they're going to have to find time to, you know, be patient. We're only 7 minutes into this match, but find time to get another good look at the goal and another good opportunity to score.
We certainly know if Mansfield Senior, if they can get the ball out wide to Gregory, he is a playmaker, has been a dynamite athlete for them. Big contributor, 7 goals, 3 assists. Both of those lead the team so far this year. But can the defense do enough to get the ball out in space to them? Right now, doing their job, well defended. And the clear to Allen. Trying to push it up through the middle. Mismeasured there, and it's going to be laid back to the keeper. Intended for Crawl initially.
Yeah, and Crawl's another guy. He got a big goal for them. Got the first goal of the game for the Mansfield Senior Tigers against Mansfield Christian the other day. And he's someone that also gives a lot of effort, shows a lot of hustle, and he's a playmaker as well. When he gets into the field in an open position that he likes, and he has good connection with his teammate, gets set up well, he can execute.
Good ball to the outside for Coop. Lost his footing, regains, and shot fired into the back of the net. So the Barons strike first. 7 minutes, 20 seconds here into the match. And it's a youngster, Caden Coop.
Yeah, that's a nice early goal for the Barons. You know, it feels like we've played more time than we have already this evening. So tough break for Mansfield Senior, but when you want to look at the positive side of that, there's plenty of time. No need to panic because they can score when they need to. So, but a good goal, good way to start off for Buckeye Valley. Just a tough break for DeBolt.
See, he basically takes a seat there, got comfy for a half second, pops right back up. And a beautiful finish there to give Buckeye Valley the lead here on the road. Can the Tigers offense respond? They've been able to at times this season. The whistle's going to go against the Barons. And off the restart, Crawl's kick. Played it really quickly. Felt like maybe Mansfield Senior wasn't set up quite yet offensively for that one. And it allows the Barons to regain possession. Now here's Crawl. Wanted to get it to the outside to Allen. He's just lurking back there, waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah, I think so far tonight, I think possession so far early on has leaned towards Buckeye Valley, but that was one thing I was able to see Mansfield Senior be able to do is the Mansfield Christian game was kind of 50-50, so we'll see if they continue to be as aggressive as possible and really try to keep the ball towards the middle of the field.
Good ball. Looked like the Barons may be offsides. No whistle, and another healthy-looking shot attempt. This time it goes over the top. Celiscar with the cross, and the setup was nice, but the shot attempt just too high.
Yeah, so far just a little bit too much power on some of these shots for Buckeye Valley this evening, but not something that's necessarily something you're upset about, but they just need to get it down a little bit.
See the speed of Allen, able to take it there into the box, get the third shot up for the Tigers. All three of them on net so far.
Yeah, and I think that's a good sign. They're getting quality shots on net. The keeper for Buckeye Valley just doing a nice job so far. So if you're Mansfield Senior, I think you want to look to continue doing what you're doing and not letting up on the gas pedal.
We're going to get a late whistle here. It's going to go against Buckeye Valley. So it's going to give a free kick over to Senior High. Looking to press a few bodies forward here. Try to get back on the aggressive. And they've got some guys. Just a matter of regaining the ball control and trying to get it to their speedsters out in space, which is exactly what the Barons have done on a few occasions here for Seliskar. Though that one disrupted by the back line of the Tigers. Been holding their own for the most part so far.
Yeah, Buckeye Valley showing that they have their share of speed as well, and they're doing a nice job of setting up these good crossing opportunities. But Mansfield has been able to just be a few steps behind them defensively and slow it down so far.
There's a takeaway and just looking to switch the field right there, Gregory. That's going to trickle all the way into the hands of Traden Williams, the keeper.
Traden Williams throws the ball back into play.
Pressure forces a give up to the outside for Coop. But the AR has his arm up, so offsides for the Barons.
Offsides, Buckeye Valley. Sean Putt takes the free kick.
Second time here in the contest, Buckeye Valley's been offsides. As Williams controls, now fires it out to midfield. First touch by the Tigers. But back over to Buckeye Valley, putting it out ahead here of Seliskar. And that's a giveaway here into space. But winning possession back there, Jack Kaiser. But the Barons going the wrong way, and it's going to end up at the feet here of the Tigers. Here's Gregory. Big touch, but offsides is the call.
And I think that with the soccer I've seen this year, offsides is one of those. It's definitely the toughest penalty. You know, it's one of those where sometimes speed isn't maybe exactly what you're looking for. I mean, you want to get out there ahead of them, but it can really kill you. I'm not sure I always still 100% know each and every time that they're offsides, but then when you get it called and get it explained to you, it's a tough break for teams, especially when you have an open field in front of you like that. It's tempting, but just one of the aspects of the game.
It's definitely a big strategy for the defense, too. Try to play a little bit up at times and force you out of position in offsides as an offensive player, as Gregory was on the replay saw by about a couple of steps. Second corner kick here of the opening half coming up here for Buckeye Valley. Didn't have a greatly executed corner on the first one. This ball a lot better, but headed out by the Tigers, and we'll run it back.
Yeah, corner kicks can be a great opportunity for any team to find another quick goal because you have a great opportunity to have all the guys you want. You know, you have a little time to get everyone in place, and you can look for a variety of things. A header, you know, sometimes you jump up and you don't get it, and someone's there to quickly kick it in as well.
Seliskar just absolutely ripped that one. Nathan Reynolds was the closest to getting a piece of it there for the Barons. Who's looking to stay in the attacking third. Shot from distance. Going to go out wide. And handled by Quentin DeBolt.
Camden DeBolt kicks the ball back into play.
Tigers with an opportunity coming up here with the set piece. Looks like Gregory's going to handle it. And they've got 3 players lined up outside the 18. Make it 4 now.
This will be a good opportunity. Interested to see how they want to play it. Taking a little bit more time setting this one up. So I think they're definitely looking to get on the board.
Gregory bends it in there. Actually around the defense and had a little bit of side spin. Williams eventually was able to corral it.
Yeah, I think a good look. It's always extremely impressive, especially when you get to see the game this close. The bend and the path that ball takes. Just not able to get probably as much force on it, but still an impressive showing of leg strength there as they get the ball back on their side.
Oh, good looking ball to the outside. Here comes Sorian Allen. He's going to line one up with the left and clocks it wide. So the Tigers with their 4th shot here of the opening half. Not able to come up with an equalizer right there.
I would definitely say as we hit just about exactly 15 minutes into this match, they've been doing what they'd like to do. Obviously, you want to have some points connecting with those shots on goal, but I think they've been successful so far in getting looks and getting the opportunity to equalize this game. So I think they just need to stick with it. And like I said, effort is such a huge thing. Soccer is an excruciating sport, demands a lot of stamina and a lot of adversity you have to overcome. So I'd like to continue to see them doing this and getting good looks at the goal.
Like that idea there with the cross, hoping that Gregory was going to be coming into frame from crawl. Sometimes with speedsters like that, you just don't know how much ground they're able to uncover. But the Tigers trying to stay aggressive here, keep it in the attacking third, but a couple of nice balls here for Buckeye Valley, going to switch the field. So here comes Kaiser. Well out wide here to the near side. Goes for the 1v1 move. Now back to Brown. And it'll just end up in the hands here of DeBolt.
Rolls the ball back into play.
Ball comes right back to Camden.
Yeah, I always find it quite interesting. You know, maybe that wasn't as planned, but I always find it really interesting to, after it's already been done, think about the different ideas that go behind, you know, whether you want to boot it out of the free kick, whether you want to roll it to one of your guys. It all goes into offensively what you're looking to get set up. Obviously, you see it's been a little bit unsuccessful here as the Barons are controlling on their side of the field, but it can be really difficult when a team is controlling the ball well and having good passing to get it back onto your side as they look to do so.
And that one skips into the hands of Camden. The big throw. He's playing quarterback that time. But it ends up with Seliskar. He's going to drive in a low cross. They're coming off of the back line. Again, Camden doing a nice job dictating the action so far in net for the Tigers.
Yeah, and those sliding saves that he had, like one of the ones he had right there, I saw quite a few of those last Saturday morning. It was a little bit more slippery out on that morning, but he really keeps his composure. You know, Mansfield Christian was able to strike first in the match that they played, and I was behind the net for that one. He really keeps his composure, doesn't let anything get to his head, and really it's kind of hard when you're a goalkeeper because you're quite disconnected from the rest of your team when they're down on the other side of the field, but he's actually quite a leader from his keeping position and very vocal, so he's exactly the kind of person you're looking to have back there, and hopefully he's able to keep up the work he's doing this evening.
The sign of any good keeper certainly is the full-on verbal communication. It's almost like a game of chess, and you are in total control, letting your back line know where to flow, where the action is coming from. And we're going to have another foul here. This is going to be the fourth in this first half. That's going to go against Buckeye Valley. And we saw Gregory on the last attempt from basically about this exact same area, actually going to leave it off, and he's going to head inside of the box. So here comes Caden Merrill. Gets a nice kick behind it, and jumping for the header was Crawl, and it just barely missed.
Yeah, it had a good bit of elevation, power, and travel to it, and Crawl was there, but just not able to connect right away on that one. But another good look for them.
It was, you see here on the Frito Lay replay, Crawl was battling. Had he been able to redirect that thing with the top of his dome, could have meant trouble for Williams. I like how quickly Buckeye Valley gets into their counterattack. They really can flip the field in a hurry, and they like to do it out wide with their wings and then move it through the middle.
Yeah, as you said, you know, they're looking to get back down the field quickly. They're going to take advantage of any laps that you may have after almost scoring a near goal. They're going to be right back on it. They're locked in, looking to get back down the field. And as you said, you know, they're not looking to use the middle a ton. They know that their speed can get them to the outside and get them opportunities for a good cross. So we'll see if they continue to use that same strategy moving forward.
Looked like the Tigers potentially were showing some sportsmanship there and put it out of bounds over to Buckeye Valley to allow for one of their injured players. Looked like Jack Kaiser got shaken up. He was down on his knees for a while, and so class act here from Mansfield Senior. A couple of the players noticed that and just helped them get it out of play so that they could swap them out.
Yeah, another class act, and that's one of the things about soccer that's kind of nice too. You know, ultimately in any sport, you have the decision to be able to just stop, but soccer is one of those sports that you have the ability to bounce, which is good to give it to the other team, but just a great display of sportsmanship, as you said.
Played back to Camden DeBolt, assessing the field. Now puts it out wide to the far side wing, where they've got Sorian Allen, who's played a solid match so far here tonight. Tigers really packing in here into the midfield. As Celiscar now out wide with the rock, maintaining some patience, lays it back for Reynolds, but a big pressure with the tackle from Jalil Gregory. Force a whistle that's going to go against Reynolds.
Yeah, and very similar to their offense, Buckeye Valley's doesn't mess around to get back on defense either. You know, you could hear the communication. They sprint back, so far we're seeing a lot of effort and a tough match being played right now by both teams. We've had our share of fouls and such and contact, but we'll see if that continues and could be in for a good one.
The Tigers certainly, you know, they're looking for that big play capability when they're switching the field. They're trying to have some nice flicks forward and get some of their speedy guys out into space. And they've been really close on a couple of occasions, like we just saw on that previous possession where Miguel Robola was able to get it with the back of his heel. They're just a fraction off right now. And with that latest foul from the Tigers, another chance to stay aggressive here for the Barons as their captain shifts it in. Great look! But the shot, not there. Great opportunity, though, for the leading scorer, Alex Brown.
Yeah, you know, great heads-up play by number 17 for the Barons. After that ball got deflected, looked for his teammate that he could get it across to, and that was a good look. Not too much power this time, just a bit wide, but that would have been quite a strike if it connected. So Buckeye Valley certainly having their share of quality looks on that as well.
Brown averaging just a shade under a goal per contest, so he's used to finding the back of the net. I think he was a little surprised, as you could tell from his expression, that he wasn't able to bury that thing with such a quality look. Now two-man game here out wide.
And it definitely feels like the tide has shifted a little bit. Buckeye Valley doing a good job of being able to control the ball down where they want to right now and utilizing those corners and those edges. So we'll see if Mansfield Senior wants to get a little bit more aggressive and look to get this ball away, or if they want to really key in on defense and just avoid getting another goal scored on them.
It's another great-looking cross into a dangerous place. A lot of traffic there, but somehow the ball is able to find its way through all the moving bodies. And here come the Tigers looking to switch the field, but a bad touch is going to create a turnover here. Crawl giving it away.
And that's a good decision to just let that ball go ahead and roll out. You know, he had an option to go ahead and play it, but allowing it to go out of bounds gives you a throw-in and able to place it a little bit more where they wanted it to.
With those bodies forward for Buckeye Valley, chance here for Mansfield Senior to try to flip the field. So we take one more look here at Alex Brown. Man, that's a pretty ball and barely missed the charging Michael Riley. Just a fraction off. So we've seen both sides here tonight with some nice build-up. Just missing.
Yeah, I think that the execution end of things just hasn't quite been there yet for either team. Buckeye Valley obviously able to connect a little bit earlier, but I think, you know, if both teams, these shots and then these opportunities that they've had, you know, we could have, it very well could be a different story right now, looking like a 3-3, 4-3 game. So I think they want to continue to be able to execute at the level they are, but just have those, you know, finish the full play, get it where you want. Mansfield Senior definitely wants to get on the board.
Robola goes down for a nice tackle, so it keeps the ball with the Tigers. As that one is played by Sorian Allen. but into the hands of the keeper, Trayden Williams.
Kicks the ball back into play.
Like the pressure there, though, from Miguel Rabola. Transfer student, or exchange student, I should say.
Yeah, and that's something I always like to see as well. You know, it's cool. You know, we had, back when I was in high school, a couple exchange students on the football team, and it's really awesome to see them out here playing against some of our local athletes.
There's a nice run by Viri Donahue. But it leads to a shot over the top. 10 total shots so far for the Barons. Half of them on target so far. And the lone goal coming from Coop. Way back 7 minutes into the match, as we're now under 15. And here comes Brown again, being unselfish, sets it up. And for the second time tonight, the Barons on the board. This time, it's Jack Kaiser.
Yeah, good job by Jack Kaiser. You know, he stuck with the play. Ball was getting batted around a little bit, but able to notice that the ball kind of got pulled out of the goal there. Knew no matter what angle he had, that was going to be a good opportunity to put up a shot, and they were able to strike and make it a 2-0 game.
As you see here on our Frito Lay replay, he was pulled way out of the net that time, was Camden. So sometimes the aggressiveness pays off. Other times you leave yourself a bit vulnerable. And we saw that time Senior High paid for it, as they're now trailing 2-0 here on Senior Night. And a giveaway. So Buckeye Valley trying to potentially punch another one on, and typically see soccer teams, once they get that momentum, they'll keep carrying that water, try to score in bunches.
Yeah, certainly. I think that is something that I've noticed with some of the local soccer I've been able to take in so far this year, carrying that momentum that you get after a goal, and knowing that if you can string a couple together, that soccer is one of those sports, it's, you know, it's hard to strike quickly when you need to, especially. So the more you can pile up a lead in the first half and early on, the more difficult it's going to make that for your opponent later.
Camden DeBolt takes the goal kick.
Tigers haven't had a quality look offensively in probably about 10 or more minutes of game time. Gregory got upended, as you see, weaving his way through traffic, and boy, he's just so electric when he gets the ball. It's probably tough sometimes as a coach not to tell him that he's just got the green light and try to make something happen.
Yeah, I think that, you know, a lot of the teams you see, there's a couple of those players, and it's tough because you don't want to get too far out of your whole unit game plan. But yeah, when you have special players like that, it's hard sometimes to just remember, you know, we got the whole match left to play. We need to reel it in a little bit. But hopefully he'll get an opportunity to just go ahead and make something happen at some point here this evening.
Another beautiful setup by Brown. Boy, he just dictates the offense so well, as Hobbs Froelich gets pressured, though, and has it taken away by Nicholson. So the Tigers defense does their job. But that connecting pass to get it up top hasn't been there on a few occasions for Mansfield. Certainly had this when Gregory gets the ball. He is always looking for number 4, Sorian Allen, charging on that right wing.
Yeah, Sorian, we've seen from him already a couple times this evening. He really, really can move, especially once he hits midfield. He's just in that stride. A good opportunity to look for him there. Just needed a little bit more power on that ball.
Going to change hands back over to Buckeye Valley now. Boyles with the throw-in, puts it ahead of Brown, who turns it over in the middle of the field. See if the Tigers can capitalize here. Kral fighting for possession. And physical play.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to heat up. You know, can definitely hear a lot of talking And that was something very, very similar. The Mansfield Christian match, especially when you got two teams when they're only separated by a few miles, it's going to get chippy. But it's starting to turn that way here this evening a bit. So, you know, in soccer, some people may not consider it's a very physical sport. And getting to watch it up close, you understand how it's not as simple as just running around a field looking to kick the ball. There's a lot of contact, especially when you're trying to get the ball from your opponent. So a lot goes into this, and then
Wearing that much protection in the game of soccer outside of those shin guards. So when you are moving at full speed and other people are coming your way with cleats on, it's a lot more, I guess the word would be deadly than you might think. Yeah. When you're moving at those high rates of speed, you know, in particular when you do take a cleat maybe to the back of the leg or just get tripped up and your momentum takes you down to the ground.
Oh, yeah. I can remember, you know, back in the days when I was just a little boy playing soccer for, I think, even an indoor or outdoor regardless. But, yeah, I can remember even as a young child being stepped on with my little finger by a cleat, and that hurts. I can't imagine, you know, once you grow up and are to the size some of these guys are out here this evening, you don't have a lot of protection. You don't have much padding other than the shin guards, like you said. So it can be a little bit scary on those slide tackles, and any time that you're going to be going up for a header, a lot of different things can happen, and injuries are very possible.
Going to get another offsides call here against the Barons. Can Mansfield find some feet? Flip the field here as we're under 10 minutes to go. Opening half of senior night for the TY Tigers, who have played well in stretches so far during this match, but just have not been able to put one in the back as of yet. 4 shots for TY. But they've cooled off a bit offensively here of late, Hayden. They're not getting the same looks that we saw in probably the first 15 minutes of this half.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely started off really strong, getting a lot of good looks. I think energy has dropped just a little bit, and that can happen sometimes. You know, morale's going to go down a little bit when you're not getting the opportunities that you're looking for, or when you are expelling a lot of energy and it just doesn't seem to be paying off. So I never like to say it in the first half of any sport, but just interested to see how much urgency we'll see out of the Tigers with the 8:50 that they have left in the first half to try and get a few more shots on goal, if not connect on a goal, because I really don't think they want to enter halftime. I don't think anyone would want to enter halftime down 2, but we will see.
One thing I really like to see here is a lot of other student athletes from Mansfield Senior out supporting their boys soccer team tonight. I see a lot of the girls players are here. Their head coach, Myron Gregory, who is the father of Jalil, so out here enjoying his last home match. Notice a couple of football players hanging out here tonight, including Miles Bradley.
Yeah, it's always excellent when you can see athletes from other sports coming out and supporting their friends, their fellow classmates, one another, and just really showing support, you know. It's always good to come out, and especially on senior night.
Because you know you want to put on a little bit more of a show, certainly when some of your classmates are out, and you know if you're the guys, maybe want to impress a couple of members of the girls soccer team and show them what you got. And so for the Tigers, you know, I think a goal here before the half could be really crucial for them. This is a Tigers team that's been shut out on quite a few occasions so far this season, so don't go into the break with nothing to show for some of your solid attempts, and I think the Tigers are going to be real happy coming out for half number 2.
Yeah, and you know, we were taking a second to talk about the crowd, and that's something too where another goal I think would really electrify the nice group that we have. Especially that I'm down here standing in. I think that would be a big momentum boost and something that they could really be happy about heading into half. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's come back to athletic contests this year, just the opportunity to have people back in the stands. And so I'm glad that, especially, you know, it's October and we have a beautiful night out here this evening. So everything put together, I think a goal would really top it off and give them something to fight for here in the second half.
Yeah, I don't know what Ohioans did to build up all this good juju and karma with the weather that we've been having here. And it is just another perfect night. You know, typically, sometimes, you know, we'd be seeing some frost out here, you know, a little breath that you can see in the air because it's so heavy and cold. So, man, it's just been phenomenal. I'm actually wearing shorts tonight, Hayden. That's how nice it is here in mid-October.
It's excellent as the cheerleaders have a little opportunity to get involved in the game.
Yeah, full big group event here tonight in support of the boys soccer team. And what a transition they've had. You know, 4 wins for the Tigers so far on the season. When you add up the last 3 seasons combined, Hayden, just 3 wins total for Mansfield Senior. So it's been a big group transformation for them this season with this large senior class to come out and, you know, I think maybe turn the program around a little bit to show that soccer's, you know, a cool sport over here, and they have a lot of players that are coming out for it. And I'd like to see the numbers continue to build and to grow for this program, and some of the top athletes not always playing the more popular sports here at senior high like football. You know, the soccer is definitely making a big comeback in North Central Ohio as Brown makes a huge play, though, and that's just tough for the Tigers, as that's going to make it 3-0, but what an individual effort.
Yeah, that's a tough break. Again, anytime you could have a goal like that scored on you, but a great effort from Buckeye Valley. He really made some good moves with the ball, didn't give up on the play, and then still had to deliver a really nice shot as the bolt was set up, didn't get put out of the goal this time and was ready, but just not able to connect with blocking that ball. Buckeye Valley's going to get their 3rd goal of the evening and make this one just a little bit tougher than it already was.
So we were just talking about Mansfield Senior and how big a goal could be. I think it works both ways now. You know, that 3-goal differential, so much different than 2 when if your opponent gets 1, hey, it becomes a contest. Now, with the Tigers down 3 goals, you got to start thinking about getting a little bit more of an aggressive offensive mind. So we'll see if Mansfield, who's been playing with 4 defenders throughout the entire duration of the night, and I think they probably need them back there, given how well Buckeye Valley's been able to get the ball into the attacking third. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the chess match that plays out here and how Mansfield Senior elects to either get more aggressive or continue with this same strategy and hope that they can just pop a couple of nice passes forward and get that speed out in space.
Yeah, that's for sure, because as I mentioned a little bit earlier about urgency, I'm someone that also does, you never want, you always want to like hope for the comeback for the team that's down, but soccer, in my experience so far this year, it's one of those that becomes highly, highly difficult, especially when we're nearing under 4 minutes left in the first half. It's going to be tough, especially in a sport where you're not going to have any timeouts with the last 40 minutes you're going to get for the second half. You don't have much stop on the clock unless someone goes down for an injury or a card is given. So you really, really have to be thinking about how you want to utilize every moment in soccer to be able to still compete once it hit 3 minutes would definitely keep some hope alive.
Buckeye Valley's got other plans, trying to stay on the aggressive here, maintaining possession, moving it right through the middle of the field, which has been somewhat of a rarity for them. They've really attacked the wings very well so far in this opening half, as a late whistle comes trickling in, and it's going to be 7th foul of the night against the Barons. And what this will do is give Mansfield Senior an opportunity to try to get some bodies moving forward into an offensive setup here. So good chance for the Tigers as we're under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it gives you a good break to get some guys down there and catch a breath real quick on their way up, because I think, we've seen body language shift a little bit here differently too, not seeing as much speed and as many breaks to get down here on their side of the field in this second half of the first half. But we'll see if they're able to take advantage of the ball down here and keep it away from Buckeye Valley.
Tigers with some nice ball movement right now. A flick forward for Crawl. Not going to have the speed to get there. Charging Williams comes out and makes a nice play.
Yeah, and that's one of those risks. We kind of talked about it earlier when DeBolt got put out as a goalkeeper. You have to choose and make a rather quick decision. How aggressive am I going to play this ball? is it one that I'm confident I can go out and get to, whether I slide or dive? Because as Mansfield Senior found out, that can really cost you a goal. So nice job by Buckeye Valley to trust in his decision, and he just really sold out for that ball.
They were Sorian Allen, who's now switched to an outside backer role, helping solidify this defense for the Tigers, coming up with a nice defensive stop there. And now they'll feed it out to Gregory. Such clean speed, and you see just how creative he is with the ball.
Yeah, his footwork and the moves he has in his arsenal to just go to, it's quite impressive. He's able to flick that around and really makes you work as a defender. It's going to take a little bit of your stamina, and he has the speed to get around you. So he's someone that Mansfield Senior definitely wants making those moves and hoping that he's able to get a good kickoff here.
He's got Griffin to bolt to his hip. Now he sends him out. Looks like Gregory's going to play this around a two-man wall. Pretty much everybody packed in. 10 players inside the 18 here for Buckeye Valley. And it's Williams who comes away with it. Kind of an interesting play there by the keeper. Kept it to his feet, and Buckeye Valley going to dodge what could have been a big opportunity for the Tigers with him out of net.
Yeah, I like the effort there and idea by Kral. You know, he really chased that ball down because he saw the keeper come out, and he really fought for it too. So a little bit of a scary moment there for Buckeye Valley. I'm sure it's not exactly what they wanted, but again, like you mentioned earlier, Brian, able to get the ball down really quickly, change side of the field, and with 30 seconds left, I'm sure they're going to be looking for yet another opportunity to get one last goal in,
which could be absolutely monstrous for Buckeye Valley. Almost put a lid on top of this thing if they can get one more on the board. Tigers defense doing their job, keeping it clean. And it appears that we are going to head into the break with a 3-0 differential in favor of the Barons, who trying to spoil senior night here for the TY Tigers. We'll see how they regroup in the second half. Take a quick timeout. Be back with a little bit of analysis. We'll have some halftime stats. Get y'all set up for half number 2. You're watching high school soccer live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why
not
podcast.
Pigskin?
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Welcome back to the Mechanics Bank halftime show. Mechanics Bank, that's better, here at Mihawk Field on the lovely Malabar Middle School campus, where the score is right now Mansfield Senior 0, Buckeye Valley 3. And we'll send it now over to Brian and Hayden. Guys?
All right, thank you, Adam. Great setup right there. And you know, it was a good-looking first half for Mansfield Senior, at least early, Hayden, and then the Tigers really cooled off. Let's go ahead and dive into these first-half stats where it was a dozen shots for the Barons. Half of those were on target. Of course, they were able to put 3 of them away. And for Mansfield Senior, 4 shots, 3 of those on net, Hayden, but all of those came in the first, I believe, 18 or 19 minutes. And then after that, the Barons clamped down defensively, and the Tigers, they had a tough time penetrating and getting the ball inside of the 18, weren't able to put any shots that really tested the keeper Williams.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to find those shots that they, like you brought up, were finding pretty successfully in the first 18-20 minutes of the match. They just haven't had quite the opportunity. As you said, you know, Buckeye Valley has really clamped down defensively. I think they picked up on, all right, this team has a lot of speed. We really need to watch for that. They kind of, you know, Buckeye Valley's been using a lot of the outside, not the middle, and they saw Mansfield Senior was really liking to use the farthest side away from us to get an opportunity. Crawl, you know, has had a couple opportunities for Mansfield Senior off some decisions from the goalkeeper and just looking for any time that he's been pulled out. But, yes, they have slowed down tremendously, and I don't know so much how much of that is Buckeye Valley has really clamped down defensively and changed up how they were defending them. And then obviously, you know, even the toughest of us, morale's going to go down just a little bit with each goal scored. So we'll see how they're able to, if Mansfield wants to change anything up, to get those shots on goal coming back to them and getting down there quickly.
And I think that third goal by Alex Brown is the biggest one of them all. Just over 5 minutes to go before the break. The Tigers were playing well. They were definitely in the match, down just 2-0. And then I think that third goal, that's a tough one, man. You know, it puts a little bit more weight on your shoulders when you come out for the second half, understanding that you're going to have to not only produce a lot of offense, you got to keep these guys off of the board too if you want to get back into the contest. So it's going to be a tough fight for the Tigers here in this second half when they come back out onto the field. We're going to take one more commercial break, and we will be back. Second half action on the way, live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Mechanics Bank. Mechanics Bank, that's better. Also, J&F Construction and Development, building your future today. Design yours at j-fconstruction.com. Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Get a free quote online at whitaker-wealth.com. And by Frito Lay. Frito Lay, good fun.
So back here with second half action at Malabar Soccer Complex. First touch going to belong to the Barons as they own a 3-0 advantage over Mansfield Senior here on senior night. And a couple of quick reads here from our Facebook comment section. I see Kelly Boland out there says congratulations to her nephew Tyler Crawl, and then also her others, Justin Crawl, for balling out here tonight. Dee Dee Hamilton Johnson rooting for the Tigers, as is Heather Gibson and Ruby Staninovsky Vavra. And Keith Kars also says good luck Tigers. And finally, Tyler Sanders giving a good luck shout out to TY as well. I'm Brian Skronsky. Hayden Gray also with me on the call tonight and running top camera, showing off all of his talent here at this contest. And for the Tigers, that's going to have to be the case for some of their top playmakers to get back into this game. I think, Hayden, we're really going to need to look at some of these seniors and see, in particular, probably Gregory and Sorian Allen, see if they can't make a couple of individual efforts that are big time, try to get them on the board, and then see if things can snowball from there.
Yeah, and I think it connects back to something you brought up a little bit back in the first half, and that's talking about how Mansfield Senior's really been able to turn this program around this year, having as many wins as they, more than they totaled the last 3 seasons. That doesn't happen when you don't have leaders in your upper class, not to take anything away from the lower classes as well. It has to be program-wide, but that just brings even more attention to those seniors. And exactly like you said, I think they're going to need to show and make the kind of plays that they've been doing to have a result like turning a program around. It's not an easy thing to do at all. It takes time. It takes multiple seasons. So I think something that would really help completely flip that light switch for them and mark a historic turnaround for them would be making, quite the comeback this evening. So we'll see if those guys are able to do so and help out the team moving forward, too, into continuing seasons.
That was a nice ball right there from Gregory. Griffin to Bolt, chased down into the corner. The cross ends up at the feet of the Barons. So it does shut down that offensive look there for Mansfield, who hasn't had a good look on frame in about 20 minutes or so of game time. So the Tigers struggling a little bit right now to get some quality looks. But a couple of nice touches here, and a ace touch there. Wasn't great, though, for the Bolt.
And you can see they're looking for Quentin DeBolt. He was also someone able to get the game-tying score over at Mansfield Christian that would ultimately allow that game to become a draw, but just not quite the touch that was going to be successful to get him into space as he is now.
That's a better-looking cross. The shot deflected, though, from Rabola. But this is what Mansfield needs. They need to really push and keep a lot of pressure on in the attacking third and just try to keep bodies up there. That's obviously the best way to stay aggressive on the offensive end, is just control the ball down at that side of the field. But as I say that, here's a turnover, and the speedy Matthew Vera Donahue. But the Tigers, with a good deflection right there, almost were able to get it up top to one of their forwards.
Yeah, I think something that I'm interested to see out of Buckeye Valley is how much time they want to spend doing something like you're seeing right now, relaxing a little bit, having a few extra touches in between their attacks and when they're choosing to press towards the goal, because they know that they have a 3-0 lead, and that's something that they want to protect. And their ability to kind of chew the clock is something that I'll be interested to see. Or do they want to just continue to really lay it on and just continue to add more goals to make their game be out of reach that way. So we'll see what we see out of the Buckeye Valley offense.
DeBolt can't keep it in bounds, and the mindset for both teams, or at least the strategy rather, has definitely taken a little bit of a change where the Tigers were playing with 4 back across the defensive line in the first half. Now it's Buckeye Valley and the Barons that are playing with more 3 back, and then a midfielder that's coming and playing a lot of defense. So certainly the strategy has become more of a defensive mindset for the Barons here in half number 2, while the Tigers obviously looking for a bit more offense. Still looking for our first shot, though, of this second half as we're more than 4 minutes in. Barons stay onside with Coop, who has it snatched away. Pretty tackle.
You see another good opportunity, another good look for Mansfield Senior. It was just a bit too long for Crawl to catch up to before Buckeye Valley got a hold of it. I'll be interested to see, Mansfield Senior can't afford to have much walking around right now. They got to have all guys on the field at all times, full sprinting to everywhere, and I know that sounds harsh, but that's just the reality they're facing with 34 minutes left to go in the second half. So you'll see, no shortage of sprinting from them so far, but they're going to have to keep it up, and you can't lay off, because if they're able to even get one, they can breathe a little bit more life, like we said, but right now still facing a really uphill battle.
But with the ball on the offensive attack here, so the Tigers getting a few more bodies up, including Sean Putt, just made that nice takeaway. Leave off for Gregory, does a dummy move over the top. Barons can't clear it yet. Now out wide for the Bolt. It's going to sneak through. He's looking for a cross. Nobody really making a run, though, for Senior High. Crawl, the only player that was really inside the box. He was near. They had an opportunity there for a cross.
Yeah, and Crawl has, I think, been there for most of them. Really, though, as you brought up, the only Senior Tiger really there able to look for a potential play on that. So I think they would like to get more guys down there to look. We'll see if Coach really makes it a point to get more guys in the area where they're able to make a play.
Tiger throw in for Putt.
Sean Putt throws the ball in.
Lobs it in, and it's going to find its way to Rockwell. But the Tigers come over and apply some heavy defense, and it pays off there from Tayshawn Robinson.
Yeah, that's a big break, because the Barons had 2 guys that looked like they'd be in great position to make a play on the ball, so that would have been really difficult for the Bull. Even a good keeper, that's a tough area when you're going to have to decide, 1, who's kicking it, and 2, where they're going to kick it to. So Mansfield Senior able to avoid a bit of a scare.
Looked like some jostling going on down there. Referee elects not to blow the whistle. Says play on. Now the Barons backtrack into their own territory. Looking to play it through the midfield. And the battle for the ball belongs to Gregory. Just going to slap shot it down to the other end. And it's going to be out of the reach of any chasing Tiger into the hands of Williams.
Yeah, and a good job to get the ball back over to their side of the field, but as you mentioned, not really anyone there on the receiving end for the Tigers to do much with that.
Do see a little bit of fatigue potentially setting in for Mansfield in a warmer night. 74 degrees here at Malabar Middle School this evening. So you can't ask for much better weather. But perhaps losing a bit more sweat and exerting more energy are the Tigers.
Yeah, and it's also, I don't envy the position, because it's tough as a coach. We've emphasized a lot on the fact that it is senior night here tonight, and it's always tough. I wouldn't want to be in that decision-making where, they haven't gone too deep on their bench tonight, haven't been a lot of substitutions. I know it's still early in the second half, but it's always tough to try and find that balance of wanting to make sure your seniors get enough time out there this evening and trying to do what you can do to get them a win. So tough decisions always have to be made, but we'll see if they're able to find a second wind and dig deep.
Plays like that last one that we saw for Tyler Crawl, those are the ones that can gas you a little bit too. You make those long, deep runs, about 40 yards, and then not even able to catch up to it. So we'll see how much longer he's able to play up top, and if they keep electing to knock some through balls, as that's blown dead offsides against the Barons. If not, it would have been Coop in a solid position to look for his second goal of the night.
Another break where something we haven't seen a lot of tonight is too many keepers looking to really boot that across down midfield after a save. And even though he just gingerly would have put a lot of force behind a ball that could have connected had it gone the right trajectory he wanted.
Barons switch fields to the far side. Tigers allowing a little bit of space right here. Going to make Buckeye Valley come to them. Now some numbers moving forward. Veery Donahue coming up into the attack now, helping out for Buckeye Valley. Playing just 2 defenders back now. So a counterattack for Mansfield Senior may be able to produce if the Tigers can get the ball up to their forwards. Instead, it's going to be a corner kick in the first here of this second half. We haven't seen a ton of action, Hayden. We're over 11 minutes in. So far, just 2 shots, both of them belonging to the Barons, and neither of them on frame.
Yeah, and something interesting, like you mentioned, most of our scoring in the first half came pretty early on. And specifically with Mansfield Senior, a lot of their good looks came in the first 18 minutes range of the first half. So as we approach getting down to that with 28-19 left to go, we'll see how their stamina is able to keep up, and we'll see if they dwindle off a little bit from not much of the offensive attack we've seen yet in the second half, but similar to the first half, we'll see how after the first 18 minutes, what do they have left in the tank, and are they going to make any kind of push, or is it just going to be trying to hold off and keep the Band-Aid on in terms of not making this game get any more?
Gregory clears, and it's going to find its way up near the midfield with Robola. Now to Gregory, who sends one. That's a good-looking ball to Crawl, but it deflects off of him, and he just can't control it. It's locked up with Zach Church back there.
Yeah, just a lot of difficulty fielding passes this evening and just not having them in the right spot at the right time that they would have liked. So, again, I think it's credit to things that are moving in the right direction for this program.
Here comes Traden Williams out to make the play. So the Barons losing their footing there. Try to take it down the far sideline. Sometimes you just don't know when those turf monsters are coming. They stay so well disguised, Hayden. It's tough to judge.
Yeah, and soccer fields are one of those that, they take a lot of wear, so you could be, and the entire field sees a lot of traction, so you could be somewhere in a position where you think probably maybe not many people have crossed before, but then, boom, you find yourself in a position where you slip like that. So not even much do out there this evening, but the amount of use the soccer fields get at any moment, you can find that, and you just got to hope that it's not going to do anything detrimental to the rest of what you were trying to do on that certain play.
Tigers with a nice build-up right here as we're showing you some of our games that we've got coming up for you guys tomorrow night. A big football Friday for the OH Report. We're going to have coverage from 9 games for you guys, including 6 of them live and free. Lucas Cubs returning back to action. The big one, our game of the night, Clear Fork taking on Marion Harding. Both teams have been red hot here over the last several weeks. Huge game also down in Howard. Both the Bulldogs and Fighting Scots 6-2 overall. Big chance for Highland to stay undefeated in the league. Lima Central Catholic, they have been on a tear here of late. The Tigers been slipping here over the last few weeks. Can they regain themselves and get a win at home tomorrow? We'll find out with a highlight there. And then Orrville and Loudonville going head-to-head. Both of these teams looking to build some late season momentum. The Birds actually not out of the playoff picture yet, though they are just 1-7 overall, so that is an interesting team right there. Also have a highlight of the Shelby Whippets. How are they going to look after just getting kicked around by West Holmes a week ago? River Valley, 5 wins for them on the season. Could be a tough out. Will Shelby play angry and get a big win there? And then on Saturday night, this is our big one, folks. We're going to have a bunch of cameras there. There's a lot of excitement. Undefeated versus undefeated. 2 state-ranked teams meeting up. St. Paul has had Crestview's number, has beat them, I believe, 10 straight seasons, at least 9 in a row. But the Cougars at 8-0 feel like perhaps tides are changing a little bit, and it just might be their year.
Yeah, and I think we have quite the slate of interesting games, and bringing up the big one on Saturday. I've gotten to learn a lot more about Crestview this season, especially with a few fellow alumni, our Storm Blunchley and G-Man, and I still have been struggling this week to really safely feel like I can go on record and say what team I feel like is going to be able to get it done. So people are just going to have to tune in and find out, because it's probably going to be the best game so far this season that I think we've aired on the OH Report.
At least on paper, there's just so many great storylines for that one. You certainly should do yourself a favor. Saturday night, 7 p.m., tune in. We're going to have plenty of pregame coverage as well, so probably more about 6:45. Get you set up for all the action there. Mansfield Senior been controlling a lot of the action here. I've liked that they've controlled possession a little bit more than they did in the opening half, when Buckeye Valley earned about 61% of the total possession. So the Tigers done a good job here in the second half, but that last pass has really been a challenge for them, as it was in the first half as well. They just cannot get it up to their forwards for a chance to get a shot on net. So I do believe that you got to send a lot of the credit to Buckeye Valley and their back line, and in particular Neil Boyles, who's from that defensive stopper spot, been really solid so far throughout the match.
Yeah, it just feels like that area of the field and that line of defense for Buckeye Valley has been the kryptonite for Mansfield Senior's offensive attack. They just haven't, like you said, had the opportunity to get it to that point and have their play progress.
Just like right there, the Tigers had 4 bodies move up. 5 of them in total were inside of the 18, but they just could not connect with a header or some feet. And the Barons again just trying to slap it out of trouble as it goes out of bounds right in front of their bench. Be a Tiger throw-in.
Yeah, and for Buckeye Valley, I don't think they're going to be too upset with what's been going on lately. While they haven't had quite the offensive success with possession and ability to score yet in the second half, they've been able to restrict Mansfield Senior from doing so. So they're winning the second half. They're winning the game overall, and I think they're going to look to just kind of – I would like to look for them to slow things down just a bit, which is hard on a team that we've seen has a lot of speed. So if the opportunity is there, I mean, I'm one to say, you never have to slow off, but – we'll see how much they elect to just slow things down and try and chew out the rest of this 20 minutes we have left.
Tigers give up better than 5 goals per contest on the season, so defensively being a little bit more stout than their standard.
That's something I want to bring up, because while the match right now is looking a bit dismal for them, so far, as you said, they've been able to stay below their season average, and they haven't given up a goal in the second half. So if you can't win the
back handsprings and a few assortment of flips.
That's one thing I love about cheerleading, that no matter what, you can always get some good spirit, and they're going to keep a smile on their face. So it's one of the positive things we have going for us here tonight.
There's a good look at the TY cheerleading squad out here in full force tonight. And you're right, man. No matter what the score or situation, they are always bringing the positive juju. So one of the underrated parts of sports certainly is having that cheer section. And, a lot of roots. I did some research one time about the origin of cheerleaders and where they come from. And it's a pretty unique pretty interesting to find out.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got some cramping going on down here on the field.
Yeah, and that's, cramping can happen really at any time, any season, but it's definitely interesting. It's not something you really anticipate or plan for to happen to you at this point in the year in Ohio, but so this is one of the few times where it might be a bit of a drawback, and hopefully these guys are able to get a little bit of hydration in them and get feeling better.
So take a quick look ahead now for Mansfield Senior, who October 18th moving forward in the tournament play after tonight. Hayden, really tough one. Got to go on the road. They open up tournament action at Ontario in the D2 sectionals. That's going to be at 6 p.m. And boy, yeah, that's about as challenging of an opener as you can get for Mansfield Senior, who I don't even know the last time that they won a tournament game. I know it's been many, many seasons. They've been one and done at least the last 5 or 6 that I saw, and probably a lot longer than that with the drought that they've had. Just the 3 wins, one each of the last 3 seasons. So that would be a monumental upset if the Tigers could go on the road over at the Big O and then knock them off.
Yeah, Ontario's a solid team, and I mean more than a solid team. It's going to be an extremely hard match for Mansfield Senior. So I hope for their sake they can stay healthy with the remaining time in this match, because you're going to need all hands on deck if you want to have any chance against Ontario. But as you said, hey, if they're able to pull something off, I think that would probably be, as you said, it would be monumental, and it would probably be the biggest upset of the fall sports season thus far for us if they're able to do that. So big if, but that is what is left on their schedule after tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll definitely have some coverage of that Richland County Showdown next week. So look for some highlights coming from the Tigers against Ontario on October 18th. And for Buckeye Valley, they're going to play Lakewood from Hebron in their tourney opener. A little bit more winnable game on paper, at least for the Barons, who coming off a 9-win season last year. 4 just the season before, and 9 wins in 2018. So these seniors here have enjoyed a little bit more success than those of the Tigers. Well on their way to win number 8 on the season here tonight. Tigers working it down the far sideline now. It finally does roll out of play. And we'll get a couple of subs here into the contest as we're past the midway point here in half number 2. And Tigers starting to run out of time to get on the scoreboard. I think that would be, a big confidence booster for them. Just get some good juju going with a score here in this second half.
Yeah, the good thing is, it's always difficult with having to see that clock just continue to tick down and the match seem to slip out of reach just even more so with each second. But some of the positives, again, that they can take away from this, haven't given up a goal yet in this half. So defensively, they've played rather sound. And, we can all think back to our senior nights when we were athletes. It's always a little bit emotional because you don't want it to end. But good news for these guys is, like we just talked about, they do have another match. It's going to be a tough one, and it's not going to be on their home turf. But this isn't the last time they're going to get to play the game with their teammates and their friends. So one positive they can take away is, like you said, trying to carry some momentum into that match. Look to have a positive note to talk about, watching film. So we'll see with 18 minutes if they're going to have a good enough opportunity to get on the board here tonight.
Here's a giveaway there from Sean Pudd, who was looking for an option and well defended that time. Now pushing the back. This is going to go against Gregory. It's going to be the first foul here of the second half against the Tigers, and going to set up the Barons with a quality look here on the set piece.
Yeah, and they're looking to move quick right off of it. I think they are looking to put on a little bit more offensive action as it just barely sails over.
Just the third shot here in the second half for both sides combined, Hayden, all of them belonging to Buckeye Valley.
Yeah, it's definitely if you're a fan defensively, it's definitely been the half for you. Not a lot of looks offensively for either team, which can get a bit aggravating, but I think both teams looking to still add goals to their totals here tonight and carry that with them moving on into the playoffs.
Oh, nice setup, but even well better defended by the Tigers. So that one skips out of the hands of the keeper to Bolt.
Yeah, ball looks like it just took a little bit of an awkward bounce. You know, all the force when he kicked that just went down a little bit into the ground, and DeBolt fortunate that it was able to roll off his hands out of bounds when that happened, because there was a couple guys from Buckeye Valley waiting there to strike again.
Second corner of the second half for the Barons. A couple of deflections here by the Tigers. And now this time DeBolt will scoop it up.
And DeBolt kicks the ball back into play.
So for Mansfield.
Yeah, and you saw one of the few times this evening that DeBolt was able to. He's got a cannon for a Lake. He really is able to put that bar downfield. So, you know, a bit interested as to why they didn't try to utilize that a little bit more this evening. But that is something that you're really only going to find success with when you have the amount of offensive guys you need down there to make a play off of that kick, rather than just giving it to Buckeye Valley to go ahead and move back over on your side of the field.
Wicked quick.
And DeBolt kicks the ball back into play.
Great punt. Oh, and how about the setup here for Rabola? Then the big shot off the crossbar and into the back of the net. It might have hit off the back of the keeper. So the Tigers getting on the board with a little bit of nice fortune right there from Justin Crawl.
And there's one of those that we talked about, Brian. I mean, and, you know, it wasn't just one of those little taps and it rolled in too. You know, it had to be a nice dramatic goal. Bounces off the crossbar and able to find its way over the line. And I think if you couldn't hear it over the broadcast, that's exactly what we were talking about. If nothing else out of this match, I mean, you know, they still have 15 minutes, but they were able to get on the board here and really got an electric roar out of us and the crowd. So we'll see how they're able to capitalize.
How about the irony of the freshman getting the goal here on senior night? And that's why that goal was so huge for Brown to close out the first half that made it 3-0, because it still keeps the margin at 2 goals. So the Tigers, while they've drawn a little bit closer, still a lot of work to do digging themselves out of this 3-0 situation. But one on the board here. And we'll see if this gives them some momentum moving forward onto the offensive attack. They have been getting into the attacking third with much more position than they did in the first half. Though, if you can believe it, Hayden, that shot that they just scored on was the first for the Tigers in the second half. And another chance here. They've done it. Back-to-back goals or no. Looks like offsides from the AR. Tough break.
That hurts. I mean, you could hear the crowd already, and I think we certainly thought not a late whistle, just couldn't hear it really well, but that's a really tough break. Plays on the heartstrings, but we'll see. That might be something that I know would fuel me as a player to quickly strike back again. So we'll see if they can use that as some momentum.
Coop tried to turn the corner. Nice sliding tackle made right there by Gregory. Just look at the recovery speed, the acceleration. After he lost his footing, had to go down to his backside. And man, what a change of momentum that would have been had Crawl been able to put in his second goal here in a 2-minute span. Really changes the complexion now, Hayden.
Yeah, like you said, you know, it emphasizes the importance of that goal that shut out the half, and that was something I noticed happen over at Mansfield Christian, too. It was a 1-1 game heading really close to half, and Mansfield Christian was able to put one in with a minute left going into halftime. So maybe that's another area where you want to continue building on in this program, is closing out halves, and so you don't have to dig as deep as we see here, though, an opportunity.
Oh, the freshman just thrown down to the turf. So there's going to be a set piece on the way for the Tigers. It's going to be roughly 22 yards away. And I bet that Gregory will handle this one as a yellow card. actually comes in, and, that's probably the proper play, just given that the freshman would have been able to turn the corner there and probably have a one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah, a tough break, but it's kind of similar to you see in basketball. No one wants to have the intentional clear path foul, but sometimes it's still ultimately going to end up a better option than what you were facing. So we'll see if it pays off for Buckeye Valley.
And it's interesting with this four-man wall. Putt's going to take it. He's got 3 options to his left, just 1 to his right in Sincere Long. And now they're going to send Gregory up. I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't have just about everyone. As Putt sends it, what a save, but it's headed into the back. So the Tigers pull within 1. We have got a game here as it's the senior, Miguel Rabola, coming through.
And, man, you can't ask for those kind of moments on senior night. I mean, I was thinking in my head here after they scored the first goal, everyone loves a feel-good story. Everybody loves those Cinderella comeback stories. Wasn't sure how I was feeling about it here tonight, but, I mean, we have ourselves a ball game with still a lot of time. 12:40 left to go in the second half, and the momentum has completely shifted, I think, in this one, Brian.
And I can feel it coming in the air tonight here a little bit. The momentum shift here, Hayden, as Mansfield Senior, as mentioned, they haven't had the shot attempts here in the second half with the possession that they've been able to accumulate, but they've been able to control in the attacking third, and we're able to get close. Now, a couple of shots, 2 of them finding the back of the net, and the Tigers seizing all the momentum, though Buckeye Valley looking to put a stop to all that right here. That would be huge. Whoa.
Wow.
Did he score that from that angle? I think he did. Caden Coop, are you kidding me? How did he cut it in?
Yeah, I mean, the keeper got pulled out, and you just didn't expect them to. You knew he was going to try and have to put a shot on, but just really unbelievable how that happened. But looks like we have a pretty bad injury here from this.
So you see that one slides by the keeper. That shot actually comes. Coop has 1 foot out of bounds. That is just majestic, man. That was a fantastic looking goal, and the Tigers do have an injured player that's out behind their own net. But wow,
yeah,
so many fireworks here, Hayden. That goal right there, 20 seconds is all it took for Buckeye Valley to answer the big Rabola goal. And then they extend it back out to a 2-goal differential. So how about 1, 2, 3 goals here in the last 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, I think maybe, they must have possibly heard us talking about the lack of offense that we saw so far in the second half, and it's just absolutely exploded here. And I think, Buckeye Valley, like I said, the momentum definitely, you could feel it shift in the entire atmosphere here. I think they wanted to remind everyone who was still leading this match, and so they quickly were able to go down there, move the ball really quick, and just able to get it in for quite the incredible shot.
Injured player for the Tigers. Unfortunately for them, it's their standout playmaker, Jalil Gregory, who was shaken up back behind the Tigers' net, but he got up on his own. He's able to walk it off over to the sideline. Just hope for them that this is one of those where he's just shaken up and just needs a couple of minutes to recollect himself and get right back out here on senior night, closing out the match on the field where he belongs.
Yeah, nice to see him get up on his own. I was a little bit scared, with that fence right there, how quick both players were moving. Both Buckeye Valley and Gregory collided a bit into that. So nice to see him get up on his own, and yes, hopefully he can get back into this match and help out the Tigers.
Great looking play there from Sorian Allen. Fun quick story about Sorian. Dating back to my TV days, I actually went over to a badminton tournament when he was a 6th grader at Mansfield Spanish Immersion School, and he was the big underdog in the class, and he battled his way all the way to the championship, and he lost in that championship match, but he said that it built a lot of confidence for him, so maybe that was the athletic performance that he needed to become like a varsity contributor here at the soccer field, Hayden. Sometimes you just never know. It'll spark you.
Yeah, that's a fantastic story. It sounds like since a young age he's had the heart of a champion and has been a fighter. So it doesn't matter what playing field you're on, the mentality can carry you a long way. And when you imply that with the skill set that he has, I don't think I'm ready after the last few minutes we've seen to count them out quite yet.
Certainly time becoming a factor now for the Tigers, who, boy, they got so close there. Love the graphic coming up. Yeah, 6th grade badminton. It actually got more views than I thought it was going to get when I posted that thing. It was a quality tournament in Ms. Broom's class. I still remember that. Good stuff there, and good times for the Tigers here as they're looking to punch it forward. And I think they've really found something since they've moved this freshman up top. It's been a big difference maker with Justin Krall.
Yeah, and I think that's something where when we look at that too, talking about how they've been able to, as a program, get to a point where they're having and finding some success. While they do have a big group of seniors, and they're going to greatly miss them because they bring a lot to this team, it's good to know that they do have the lower class has been a part of this as well and have a lot of players, as you see.
What a touch by Rabola to get it to the feet of the 9th grader. This time Justin wasn't able to uncork one.
And these are going to be some great minutes for him because they're playing a quality team right now, and he's been able to come up big against some good performers. So
looks like we've got another injured Tiger down on the field, though they are up on the far side and walking out of the field of play. So for Mansfield Senior, a couple of players been shaken up here over the last few minutes.
Yeah, and I think the match is really starting to wear on them. You see another couple guys stretching, taking a second to take a quick seat and stretch out those legs. And as I said earlier, though, I mean, even if you're in fantastic physical condition, soccer is taxing on you. So they haven't utilized a ton of substitutions here either tonight. So I think it's wearing on them. So the window is closing if they want to try and continue this match, but just hoping that they can make it out of this one healthy.
Dangerous pass, switching fields. Here's Sincere coming up. And Mr. Long got a foot on it. He's a little disappointed with himself. Thought he could probably angle this one on frame. Didn't close down that toe. It was a little bit open. And it sails wide. And just the 3rd shot here the second half for Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, and that's a tough break. He's obviously rightfully so upset with not being able to connect there. But for all the people who aren't good at playing soccer like myself, and you just learn that it's not as easy, even when you're in an open field with no one but the goalkeeper ahead of you, to, while you're running in mid-stride, put that ball where you want to. So it's a tough break for them, but they'll have another opportunity to lay on the offensive attack here.
And they've got Putt putting this one. Great looking ball, back post. It's punched out by Williams. The Tigers with a shot attempt, though, from Krall. And this one will roll out. I believe it should be a goal kick, and it will be. Great buildup, though, for Mansfield Senior to keep the ball in a compromising position there for Buckeye Valley, but they just couldn't get the shot necessary with space, as a lot of bodies packed like sardines there inside that 18.
Yeah, there seemed like there was at least a solid 10, 15 seconds where if you're a Buckeye Valley fan, you just couldn't feel safe because that ball was staying in there. And Mansfield Senior, like you said, had a lot of bodies, but it just seems like that's been the story of the night so far. Just not able to, I don't know whether it's so much as luck either, but things just haven't been able to go their way on the executing side when they're in good position like that.
The hustle there from Coop keeps it alive. Big shot from Brown, ricocheted out of play. Diving stop from Camden DeBolt.
I think that's another player that Mansfield Senior is fortunate is not a senior this year. I think they're going to be happy to keep him around and have him for a little while longer, because I think he's another key part of the success this program's been having and able to keep them at the level and just keep progressing up.
Just a junior is the keeper, so they will get to keep him, and a lot of freshmen also returning. Decent-sized sophomore class, too, so the future for Mansfield Senior looking pretty solid. Be nice to see over the next couple of seasons if they're able to build on this campaign that they're having right now, and though, they're on their way to what might be 4-10-1, but a lot different than what we saw from previous seasons where they went 1-16, 1-11, and then 1-8-3 3 seasons ago. So these seniors that have stuck with the program reaping the benefits here as Brown into the box, and he's going to put that one away for a second of the match, and that was just all number 10 getting it done.
I mean, from the minute he crossed midfield all the way to him celebrating right now, I mean, the moves and just put on an absolute highlight play of a goal there. And I think that's one of those that kind of in sports, you know, is the dagger play when we're sitting here with just 6:48 left. Go back up to a 3-point lead, so it's got to be tough. But just a beautiful play for him there. And that's someone that obviously we've seen a lot of tonight and seems to be a key piece for Buckeye Valley on their offense.
No question, the captain in the midfield, he's been spectacular at times. You saw right there on that previous goal when he puts his mind to it and just decides to just go towards the net. Could definitely be dangerous for the opponent, as it was their second goal here of the match. And it's starting to think about who might be in line now for MVP of the game. I think certainly Alex Brown makes a solid case for himself there. And Caden Coop, probably those two right there, those two individuals.
Yeah, I would agree. I think both of those have made the argument for why they should be considered tonight. Still a little bit of time left for either of them to solidify their case as well.
And for Mansfield Senior, chances here to try to make it a little bit more respectable on the scoreboard. Tigers average 2.24 goals per game. So this is right about on their average of allowing 5 and then scoring 2.
Yeah, and you know, if that 3-minute stretch wouldn't happen, although they wouldn't have had any goals, they still would have had Buckeye Valley at 3. So tough break to see that they did go ahead and get up to their average, but still, I think the playmaker they're seeing, the standout freshman, I think that's going to be a good positive takeaway for them from this.
Matthew Varee Donahue is down on the turf. Look like he's in quite a bit of pain. So while they tend to him, we'll go ahead and we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. 5 minutes, 20 seconds remain in the match. That's all coming up on the other side.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the pigskin. The pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why
Not
not
both?
Pigskin. Podcast.
Here at the Malabar Soccer Complex in beautiful Mansfield, Ohio. And the Tigers getting right back on the attack where they left off. Trailing by 3 goals here as we're approaching the 5-minute mark. Second half, they had back-to-back goals in a 2-minute span, and then just when you thought that the Tigers were going to take that momentum and just swing the deficit, and they have since tacked on one more, making it 5-2.
Yeah, and it's hard. That series would have been even a little bit more chaotic if it hadn't been for an offsides call. You know, Mansfield Senior was able to connect now, given the goalkeeper may have heard the whistle before, and that's why didn't do much of an attempt on that shot, but could have been looking at a tie for a little bit as well. So definitely a slow starting second half, but offense really sparked off, and that's what's got us at a 5-2 game.
But I think what this has proven for Mansfield Senior, I mean, Buckeye Valley is a quality foe here, is that if they do implement their game plan and they get the right people playing the right positions, you know, it's a pretty dangerous team that can make some stuff happen. And you see here with Sincere Long, I like that the Tigers substituted for speed over the second part of the second half here, and it's made a difference, Hayden, when they've been trying to play that big ball up and allow kids to run into space. I mean, in the first half, they just didn't have the same type of speed out there with Tyler Krall trying to make all those runs basically by himself. So now they have a couple of guys with a little bit more speed under their feet, and I think that it's worked out a lot better for TY here over these last 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a compliment too. You can tell that they're obviously, with the ability that they've had to turn the program around, you can tell they're well coached and making good adjustments to at least give them a chance for success tonight. And as you said, this is not an easy team to face. I think this is probably a way more difficult team than they saw against Mansfield Christian. So I think that they have been able to hold up, and this is at least some bit of preparation for, I mean, Ontario's a different beast, but I think this at least gets them into the idea that, hey, maybe you just set smaller goals for yourself. Let's have let's hold the Warriors when we see them in the playoffs to 1 or 2 goals and a half or 0 at best, and let's see if we can get a goal put up against them. So I think they'll be able to carry some of the things that have transpired in the second half with them.
Certainly could have found an emerging playmaker for them too in the freshman Justin Krall, who I don't know if he scored on the season entering tonight's match. So he's certainly shown some nice bursts for the Tigers, who are now down to 2 minutes remaining in their senior night, while they're on the losing end here against the Barons. Both sides have played well. We've seen some good-looking bursts. It's just that the Barons have had a few more for a little bit longer duration. The first half in particular, they were pretty darn sharp, building that 3-goals-to-none advantage.
Yeah, the first half definitely, when we're standing here looking at it being 5-2, that's going to be the difference maker, you know, able to put up 3 goals in that first half. And just it was just too much to overcome for the Tigers. And when you're playing an opponent this tough, it's not going to be as easy as you think to make that comeback and make it happen just in 40 minutes. So things to build off of, but Buckeye Valley just too strong here this evening.
Just looking to run down the clock here as they get it to Brown, who I believe is going to be our player of the match. He's just done so many things well tonight. And it looked like just about everybody for Buckeye Valley was offsides there and fallen with a cramp. Celiscar. And
Yeah.
we'll see if he can just jog it off there. Oh, you can tell it's really hurting him.
Yeah, those cramps, man, they sneak right up on you, and I think he did the right thing. Best thing you can do is just get right up and try and shake that off, and we'll see if he's able to power through the last 30 seconds here.
Long plays it out of the air. Then a big kick from Boyles, who also played really well on the defensive back line here tonight. Holding the Tigers to less than 10 shots on the night. just 8 by my total.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So Buckeye Valley comes here on the road at Malabar Middle School, and they're going to walk away with a 5-2 victory to close out their regular season above 500 now at 8-7-1, while the Tigers dipped to 4-9-1, but showed in the second half a really nice spark of energy. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some final stats as well as an interview with our player of the match, Alex Brown. That's all on the other side, so keep it here. You're watching high school soccer live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos.
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker-Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Worcester, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Why not both?
Pigskin. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Welcome back to the Malabar Soccer Complex, where Buckeye Valley just finished off a 5-2 victory over Mansfield Senior. Nice win for the Barons here on the road. Brian Skronsky, Hayden Gray with you. And let's dive into the final stats of the evening. And on paper, definitely dominated by Buckeye Valley. 21 shots, 10 of those on frame. Got a lot of corner kicks as well, and then they also had 59% of the total possession. Mansfield Senior, though, their style, Hayden, is to play for those big through balls and try to get some compromising situations with your forwards against their keeper, and they did that on a couple of occasions tonight. Just 8 shots for them, 6 of those on frame, though, so when the Tigers had their opportunities, they got some pretty clean looks.
Yeah, I think that you saw a combination. You saw the ones that they weren't able to connect on, and you can kind of pick apart what could be done better in order to get more of those on frame. But on the other side, they did have some that against a really, really tough Buckeye Valley defense, a couple of moments where they were able to emerge through, get some good looks, obviously able to walk away with 2 goals on the evening, had a potential for 3, and I mean a potential for more even so I think it's not their end goal where they want to be offensively, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's what's going to get you wins moving forward as they're able to build off of this. So I think they're going to have some things, and like you said earlier, I think they've got an emerging freshman, which if he hasn't scored any goals on the year, a big stage to score some tonight, but if he has, I think they have some good pieces moving forward, and they'll be able to build off it.
Yeah, certainly. I think for Mansfield, it's just finding that mixture of when do you elect to put certain players at different positions. But what we saw, kind of the crawl swap out, the senior give way to the freshman who both did nice things, just a little bit different style of player when you put the youngster up top for them versus a more physical player in the senior. So for the Tigers, but when do you elect to make those swaps? And we saw earlier in the game, too, that Sorian Allen was playing up. He was on the wing and really was able to get a couple of nice plays going towards net. He had 2 shots on goal as well. And then they put him back at a defender where I think they kind of need him, but at the same time, they love his speed up top. So for the Tigers, it's just finding that beautiful mixture in the beautiful game of when to elect to put some of your top guys up into the attacking third. Hayden, overall, though, I liked, for the most part, what we saw from the Tigers here. I think this is a good match for them to end the season on against a quality opponent like they're about to see next week in the Ontario Warriors. And I feel like the Tigers are going to give them a pretty good shot. We'll just see if they're able to take some of the big blows that Ontario's able to dish out. If they can take them, absorb them, and stick in the match, it's going to be fun to see next week.
Yeah, you never know. And, I mean, look where we were this evening. Buckeye Valley, not quite the same beast that Ontario is, but if you saw the first half and going into the second half, you didn't really see the surge that Mansfield Senior was going to have. So we've talked about it a bit with football this year, but when we're talking about the other football here, with soccer, once you get to the tournament, some crazy things happen, and everyone likes to be a bit of a sleeper and play the upset, play the villain if they can. So, Ontario, they're not going to have the opportunity to look past anyone because that can be a dangerous mentality to have. So if you're Mansfield Senior, I think you're just looking to go out, play your game, have fun. You got one last one on the year with your friends. So we'll see what they're able to do. But, yeah, Ontario, they're a force to be reckoned with.
That Division II Clyde district, I mean, it's really a bear with some of the, if you want to call them bottom feeders, some of the lower seeds really improving their game like a Mansfield Senior. Could make things a bit more interesting in those opening matches in the sectional rounds. Maybe a couple of shakeups when they get to the Final Four, which has been a lot of the same teams here year after year. It typically always leads to Lexington versus Ontario playing for that district championship, but who knows? Might get a wild card here this season, and I know that the Tigers would love to pull off an upset and get their first tournament win in a really long time. Definitely having a good time. I see the seniors down here getting a nice group photo together.
Yeah, it's good to see, and a big shout-out, that's what I want to say at the end of the match, too. Congratulations to Buckeye Valley seniors, getting a win this evening, but still a huge salute to the senior class for Mansfield Senior, because when we talked about what they've been able to do over the past few years, it takes leadership and seasons of hard effort and work from them, so a huge tribute to them, and it's obvious they're highly respected and loved around here, and happy to see there's still some smiles out there.
All right, it appears that we do now have our player of the game. Alex Brown is going to get set up with the headset. And as he throws that puppy on, let's go ahead and get us all set up. Here it comes. Development Player of the Match, brought to you by jfconstruction.com. Alex Brown, a couple of goals and a nice helper in a 5-2 victory here on the road first, I want you to talk to me about some of your playmaking ability. You really seem to dictate the action in the midfield for your guys, and you're certainly somebody that they're looking to spark the offense. Just talk to me about overall your role on this team and what it's been throughout the season.
Well, yeah, we have some players out wide, and I always look for them. And at the end, it's just the whole team. It's not just me.
When the Tigers had those back-to-back goals there in the second half, things got pretty tight, and then that was a huge goal by Coop to extend the lead back out to 2. How big did that feel? Talk to me about scoring late in that.
But yeah, they held us for several minutes at the end, and I knew we had to get one to keep the intensity up. And so we kept pushing the ball forward, and I finally found my opening and took it.
Well, you guys above 500 now, 8-7-1 overall in the season as you get into tournament action where you're going to be playing Lakewood from Hebron in your tournament opener. You know, what is the expectation for this team once you get into tournament play starting next week?
Well, we know we got to bring our A game. We know we got to go all out. We can't underestimate any team, and everyone's got to try their hardest.
All right, well, a big performance here from the senior Alex Brown. A couple of goals and an assist here tonight. Congratulations for being our JNF Construction and Development Player of the Game.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, so I want to thank Alex for joining us, and thank you all for watching here tonight. Fun night of soccer here at the Malabar Soccer Complex, where your final score one last time, 5-2. Buckeye Valley gets it done on the road as they're above 500 at 8-7. Tigers dip to 4-10-1. Want to thank all of our generous sponsors for bringing you tonight's action live and free, including JNF Construction, where they're always building your future today. Design yours at jfconstruction.com. Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers. Get a free quote online at whitakerwealth.com. Frito Lay, always good fun. And Mechanics Bake. That's better. Also want to thank our awesome staff, including Hayden Gray, who pulled double duty tonight. Not easy to do, folks, running the camera and talking about the game. Hello, how about a budding star? And then Jory Hollenbeck down on the sidelines. She was doing some senior pictures for Mansfield Senior for the district. Also running sideline cam. Also bidding on anniversary gifts. Bought an $1,100 TV tonight. So you're welcome, honey. Hope you enjoy that 85-incher, which I'm sure I'm going to enjoy too. I'll be able to pull up OH Report and watch a ton of games. And boy, do we got a lot on the schedule tomorrow. How about 9 football games tomorrow night? So make sure that at about 6:45 you find your way to your smartphone, your tablet, your TV, or your PC. Get locked in because it is going to be a fun night of football. But for my amazing crew, including Adam Thompson up here pressing the 1s and 2s, and also doing the God voice too. We haven't had too many of those this season. Might have been the first time that we've had the announcer for these sponsors in particular. So thank all of them, and thank you for watching. But we're out of here for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.